Every family experiences friction, but occasionally, ordinary sibling rivalry crosses a threshold where the relationships break so completely the damage appears permanent. In the account of Joseph and his brothers, the family dynamic is poisoned from the start. Their father, Jacob, overtly singles out 17-year-old Joseph as his favorite, marking his status with a public gift, a special coat worn only by the chosen heir. Joseph actively fueled this volatility. He reported his brothers' misdeeds to their father and recounted 2 dreams where his entire family, parents, and 11 brothers bowed down to him in submission. When blatant parental favoritism is met with this kind of arrogance, ordinary sibling conflict hardens into deep, calculated hatred. While tending sheep 50 miles from home, the brothers seize their opportunity. They violently strip Joseph of his favored coat and drop him into a dry, abandoned well. As a caravan of merchants passes by, Judah suggests a way to profit from the situation. They haul Joseph up and sell him into slavery for 20 pieces of silver. To hide the crime, they slaughter a lamb, shred Joseph's coat, and drench it in blood. When they present the garment to Jacob, he is left to conclude that a wild beast has devoured his son. The brothers return home, but they are now trapped inside a vacuum, a family held together by a dark secret, cementing a fracture that offers no clear path to repair. Joseph's removal to Egypt begins a long period of separation. Ripped from his family and his status as a favorite son, he's forced to adapt to a reality entirely outside of his family's toxic dynamic. This chart shows the volatility of Joseph's years in Egypt, dropping into slavery, managing a royal household, then plummeting into prison. Through these shifts, his integrity remains constant. This reliability eventually leads to a vertical spike, elevating him to second in command of the empire. This decade of isolation allowed Joseph to build a level of personal fortitude that his brothers had never seen, preparing him for the moment he would eventually have to face his past. When a severe famine strikes, the brothers are forced to travel to Egypt to buy grain. They find themselves bowing before a governor they do not recognize as the brother they sold. Joseph recognizes them instantly, but rather than offering immediate forgiveness, he begins a process to verify if they are still the same men who betrayed him. He accuses them of being spies and sets a strict condition for their return. They can only buy more grain if they bring their youngest brother, Benjamin, the father's new favorite. When they return with the boy, Joseph has his servants plant his own silver cup in Benjamin's grain sack. Guards overtake the brothers on the road and discover the cup in Benjamin's back. Joseph offers them a choice. The thief will stay as his slave, but the others are free to return home. It is a scenario designed to test if they have evolved. They are given a perfect opportunity to abandon a favored sibling and save themselves, just as they did years before. The brothers return to Joseph's house in terror, facing the loss of their youngest brother and their father's certain death from grief. Judah, the same brother who originally suggested selling Joseph for silver, steps forward. He refuses to abandon Benjamin, pleading to stay as a slave in the boy's place to prevent his father's heart from breaking. Seeing this sacrifice, Joseph's composure finally breaks. He clears the room, breaks into tears, and reveals his true identity to his stunned brothers. Judah's willingness to trade his own freedom for Benjamin's provides the undeniable evidence of change that Joseph needed to see before the path to forgiveness could open. With the truth exposed, Joseph chooses to reframe the narrative. He refuses to use his supreme power to punish his newly vulnerable brothers for their past crimes. He explains that while their betrayal was intended for evil, God used the trauma to position him in Egypt to save millions of people, including his own family, from starvation. The reconciliation culminates in action. The entire family relocates to the fertile land of Goshen, where they are provided for and protected through the remaining years of the famine. Rebuilding a shattered relationship requires the evidence of changed behavior from the aggressor, the integrity of the victim to forgive, and the collective choice to reframe a fracture into a story of greater purpose. Every